Do you know when you're not going to want to get up and go to work anymore? Does anybody really have the answer to that question? I bet a lot of you guys are probably thinking right now, I don't want to go to work anymore. And if you're thinking that, I'm probably not talking to you, right? I'm talking to the folks who they're okay with going to work right now. They're not excited about it. They don't get up pumped up every day saying, "Yay, I'm going to work." But they know they got responsibilities and they go to work. I'm talking to you. When are you going to be able to not go to work anymore? Do you have a clue? On this channel, I talk about my path to financial freedom and the things that I'm actually doing to get there. And the other thing I do is I also share like some of the mindset shifts that I've had along the way, because this version of Chris didn't happen overnight. It took years of experiences and things that I went through to actually shape, who I am today. So I was motivated to start this channel to kind of show people that like regular people can basically have a 9-to-5 job and also have something on the side. And it can be done. And you could use that to accelerate your path to financial freedom, because things have changed so much. So if you resonate with stuff like that, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because we're going to build a community here of like-minded individuals, and I would love for you to be a part of it. And also drop where you're from, because I want to see where everybody's from. So when are you going to be able to stop working, man? And I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm just saying, like, do you know when you're going to stop working? Does anybody really know when they're going to be able to stop working? And until you really think about that step, I mean, it'll really hit you. And a few years ago, like, I actually really thought about it. I was like, Chris, when are you not going to want to go to work anymore? Like, what are you going to do when you get to the point where you just don't want to go to work anymore? And what if you still have to go to work? What do you do? What's next? Think about that. What if you get to the point in your life where you are so stressed out that you hit a wall, you don't want to go to work anymore, you don't want to deal with those people anymore, but you don't have a choice? What happens next? And I was going through some frustrating, my wife really, her actually is the best story, man. And I'm not going to tell her story. One day she'll tell her story, but she was just really stressed with her job. And she was so stressed every day, like it was almost making her like sick. But because she had me, she was able to retire early, really early, in her 40s. And I was happy to be able to give that to her. But I'm the breadwinner, so I don't have that option, right? So what are you gonna do if you get to that point that my wife got to? Because just because I'm a man, that don't mean I can't get to that point as well. So a few years ago, I really started thinking about that, and that's where I really started changing my life. And part of the reason why I have this channel is I want to talk to other people and make sure that they understand that that day comes for everybody. None of us are built to work forever. You will eventually have to stop working, either because you can't find a job anymore, or your body just won't let you do it anymore, or mentally you just can't do it anymore. And when you get to that point, what are you gonna do? What I think about is the type of people who don't even consider this. And I didn't consider this until I was in my very late 30s. And I think that's pretty early, to be honest. I think majority of people don't think about this until they're late in their careers, maybe 50s and stuff, and they're getting close to retirement. And so because I thought of it in my late 30s, I started doing things to actually put me on the path to where my cash flow could actually support my lifestyle. And so that's where I'm headed toward now. And the great thing is I'm not all the way there. I'm close there, but the only reason why I'm not there is not because I haven't created enough. Well, I guess I haven't created enough cash flow, but it's because I have debt that I'm still paying that help me create the cash flow. And we'll talk about that in another video. But a lot of times when you're trying to get to financial freedom, you have to, create debt to get assets, right? And those assets allow you to create cash flow. And that's what I've done. And then eventually you pay off the debt. And then once you close that loop, then you end up being at financial freedom. So I'm very close to closing that loop. And actually, I'm selling a house this year. And if I sell this house, I will be 100% at financial freedom. So drop it in the comments. If you're already at financial freedom, I definitely want to know that. But I wanted to make this video today because I think there's a lot of people who don't even consider that they're not going to want to work forever. And what are they doing to ensure that they don't have to? Because how many jobs have pensions now? Not much. Military, post office, few other jobs, but most jobs don't have pensions no more. You go depend on Social Security. Those people playing with your money right now in Washington. You don't depend on Social Security. They're already talking about raising the age you have to be to even draw it. There's legislation right now saying that they want to move the number to 70. So, and they're also saying that another fix to the Social Security problem is paying people like 70% of what their money is going to be. So you might be in a situation where you might get Social Security, but it might be at 70% of what you were supposed to get. Is that going to be enough with inflation and all that stuff? What are you going to do? What are you going to do at 65 years old and Social Security is paying you at 70%? At that point, you're not going to have a choice. I'm making this video right now to reach out to the people that still have a choice, man. Find something to do to supplement your income. There will be a day you will wake up and you will not want to work anymore. And it's sooner than you think. And you don't want to be in a situation where you don't have any alternatives, because things are only going to get worse. The government is already cutting out more and more safety nets for people. It's just a fact. I'm not trying to be political. I'm just telling you what's happening. Safety nets are going away, or they're becoming few and far in between. And there's a political persuasion that don't really care about some of those things. So if you aren't doing something that's going to protect you, you're going to be caught with your pants down. And that's not the situation you want to be in. And I'm always going to drop a plug for what I do. Get into short-term rentals. I promise you, if you find a short-term rental, you don't have to be as big as me. And I'm not big. I only have like 9 properties. I'm not big. But my properties make a good bit of money. You could get 2 or 3 properties and you could bankroll this thing. And you don't have to buy them. You could do rental arbitrage. And there's ways you could do that the right way, and you can make $1,500 to $2,000 a month on every property. And you could do it while you have a full-time job. There are ways to do it. I am doing it right now. I work a demanding full-time job where I work 10, 11 hours every day, and I still do this business. It can be done. There will be a day that you don't want to have to go to work. You have to do something to ensure you're not ass out when that happens. See you guys in the next video. Peace. Like, comment, subscribe.